Fresh off her role on the buzzy hit series The White Lotus, Carrie Coon is back for the third season of the period drama The Gilded Age, where she plays a new money social climber orchestrating a marriage for her daughter that would benefit both of them. Watch.
And I need your help. If her antics leak to the paper, she'll ruin everything.
You've put her in this position.
A position that will make her the envy of every woman living.
And to make her life a misery. Is that what you want?
When there are children, they will be among the highest-ranking people on Earth. Do you really want that wrecked by Billy Carlton?
I said she could marry for love.
George, I'm building her future. A golden life. Isn't that worth more than a hasty promise?
I want to wear that outfit to the Emmys. Please welcome Carrie Coon.
Thank you so much. I like a shape. I like to pretend I have hips.
Gorgeous.
It's lovely to see you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Sure. We were talking about spending habits, and you're married to playwright Tracy Letts.
I am.
He's a great playwright.
Yes.
A Pulitzer Prize winner, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, with a high school education.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's him.
So
He has a big beard right now. It's
what's your deal with him, with the
Well,
money?
before I talk about his spending habits, I just wanted to point out, because I so appreciated the conversation you were having, that the big, beautiful bill that benefits billionaires includes $45 billion to expand detention centers.
Oh my.
And when you're redefining who qualifies as part of an enemy population, like protesters who are not American or animals or insurrectionists, which is how we're being referred to, anybody can end up there. Right. So that's my favorite spending habit of the day. But to talk about my husband, he's been outed as a DVD collector.
Oh.
He has an insane sort of over 10,000 Blu-rays.
Wow.
We have a
Really?
4K projector in our basement. So now he's actually been redefined as the king of hard media. And I've just accepted that he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't like cars, he doesn't golf.
But he hoards the hard media.
He has the hard media. But we're gonna have
Hoards
we're gonna have the movie theater after the apocalypse. I'm gonna get a bicycle and I'm gonna rig it up, and we're gonna have all the films you can't see on streaming.
Exactly. Well, yeah, so it's a good, kind of a good plan.
And I don't spend any money. Whenever I go shopping like once a year, and I come home and he's like, "How much did you spend?" And then I tell him, and he says, "Good for you. You're an actress. You need clothes." Because I have one sports bra and one pair of tennis shoes, and now I have 2 pairs of workout pants, which is a really big deal for me.
Look at you,
Thank
spreading
you.
the wings.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest, you know.
Wait, you're from the Midwest?
Yes, I'm from Ohio.
I'm from Iowa.
Oh my gosh.
And I get Ohio all the time.
That's why you're like, I don't spend any money.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma, you know, she grew up in the Depression. When she died, we went through their house. We just found money everywhere.
Wait,
We knew she was going to hide it
hide it.
everywhere.
But I was named after my grandma, and I said, I'm just like Grandma. That's why I do this. My brother was like, she was born in the Depression. What's your excuse?
Right. Well, you know, it's good to keep that history close.
Yes.
I think.
Well, we have to talk about the Gilded Age because I am such a huge fan. It is so wonderful.
Thank you.
It's so fun to watch. I love the fashion, as Joy pointed out earlier.
Yeah.
I think the sets are just so lavish. And you play this fan favorite, one of my favorites, Bertha Russell, who with her railroad tycoon husband is trying to sort of establish her family in New York's elite. Now, she can be pretty ruthless. We've seen that through the episodes. I love it.
Has her priorities.
I love it. But you say you love that people don't like her. And why is that?
Well, it's fun to play an antagonist.
Yeah.
But what's fun about Bertha is that she's also the protagonist, right?
Yes.
Because she's driving the narrative, she's forcing the changes, and we also know that she wins. I mean, those women built New York.
That's right.
You know, we have the Metropolitan Opera. Most of the philanthropy was grounded in their efforts because that was their purview. Right. And so she's a winner. And you know, Americans love a winner. What can I say? You know?
Bertha's like Lola. Bertha gets what Bertha wants.
She does. And she's pretty, you know, single-minded, which will cause some trouble this year.
Oh.
I personally feel that she's setting her daughter up for success.
She sure is.
You know, puppy love doesn't last that long. If you're going to be married to somebody for 30 or 40 years, you need to have a sense of purpose. You need to have power and influence.
Yes.
And that is what she is giving Gladys.
Look at that.
So, sorry, taking good care of her daughter. Her son will be fine. Larry is failing up all the time.
Well, speaking of your marriage in the show, Morgan Spectre plays your husband, and he's become a bit of an internet zaddy, as the kids call it. He's so cute, and I just love him in this. He really is. And he recently posted a thirst trap wearing a Bertha t-shirt and nothing else.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to this?
I mean, it's very hot.
Emmy.
Hilarious.
Morgan?
I mean, he's hilarious. The thing I love the most about Morgan is he's this, avatar of masculinity, well-deserved. But he's also actually so, like, sensitive. And he's so willing to do a photo shoot that's, like, big earrings and a skirt.
Yeah.
And so what I find so funny is there are all these men that want to be Morgan, but Morgan's actually, like, deeply in touch with his femininity in, like, a way I find so attractive,
Yeah.
frankly. But we have the best time. I mean, we have the best time, but we also are known for our, like, going down the rabbit hole of doomsday. Like, if we had a podcast, it would be about disaster preparation for the end of the world.
Yeah.
So it seems lighthearted, but in fact, we're really just dismal to have at parties.
But you have those DVDs.
Yes,
so
we
we're
do.
ready.
I'm ready for that part. That's what I'm bringing to the
So-
table. He can grow all the vegetables.
But you're gonna be naked after the end of the world because you have no clothes in your closet.
I'm naked on the internet anyway. I mean, what have I got to lose?
You're also getting an Emmy buzz for this season of something we're all a fan of, The White Lotus, where your storyline involved kind of a toxic, I think that's fair to say, but it ebbs and flows, trio of friends on the girls' trip to Thailand. And your monologue in the finale was epic. The New York Times called it its favorite moment. Let's take a look.
I look at you guys and it feels meaningful. And I can't explain it, but even when we're just sitting around the pool talking about whatever and name, it still feels very deep. I'm glad you have a beautiful face. And I'm glad that you have a beautiful life. And I'm just happy to be at the table.
Wow.
Thank you.
And she plays a New York lawyer, so I love that.
But
I
why
love
do
that.
you think this scene has resonated with so many people? And can you relate to these friendships at all?
I think the themes of the season were quite, in some ways, very Greek. They could be very alienating because Mike is always pushing that conversation. He's always challenging the sort of tropes and so he's not afraid of controversial topics. But the women were the sneaky heart of the piece because they were so relatable. And I was stunned by how many think pieces and essays were written about it and how many women have come up to me feeling seen. And what's funny is they all are, I had my kids had a play date and it was like 3 toddlers over. And within 5 minutes, every single one of them came up to me and said, I feel they're not playing with me. It's like we all, and so every woman feels like they're the left out woman. They all feel like the Lori. And that is sort of, I think, what social media does to us. Like we've always been compared to each other. It's how they keep us apart. And so I think everybody feels those feelings and they don't necessarily know how to talk about them because we are performing our best selves all the time.
Well, talking about playing in the same sandbox, you also had a scene this season that we actually talked about in Hot Topics, and it was where the trio
Yes.
is having dinner together
This one
when
comes up a
Leslie
lot.
Bibb's character implies she voted for Trump. You're very outspoken politically in real life. Do you think it's actually possible to have friends who don't share your same beliefs?
I do.
Do you think it's possible to have friends who voted for Trump?
I had family members who voted for Trump. I'm from Ohio. We had to have those conversations.
Everyone
Not
has
my
family
immediate
members,
family.
but you
Right.
can't choose those.
No, that's true. And I think there was a time when it was possible to have conversations about it. But when you're in an authoritarian slide, it becomes a closed system. The leader is the source of information. That is not penetrable. So when you're inside of that circular information system, then it's very hard. It's very hard to talk about anything because there's no basis in fact. And now we're seeing the defunding of the NIH and the NSF. So like science, which I believe in science. And I don't think there's no middle ground there.
But don't you think that people who are going to be affected personally by these cuts will rebel against their previous beliefs?
I think narrative is very powerful and it's very easy to teach them that they should blame immigrants or trans people while billionaires are picking their pocket.
Anyway, thank you. Very brave. Most actors do not express opinions like that.
Yeah, well,
they're
I'm a
worried
mom
about their
first.
careers. Good for you. Our thanks to Carrie Coon. The 3rd season of The Gilded Age premieres June 22nd on HBO and will be available to stream on Max.